Hello, my name is Julie, and this is Chaos Mom Crochets, and today is Crochet Podcast number 57. So, I have quite a few things finished to share with you all, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that I finished is my dragon. This is the Fantasy Dragon Amigurumi by Stringy Ding Ding. It is free on her website, but you can also buy the PDF version of this dragon if you would like to not follow it on her blog, with the ads and stuff. But I just love how it turned out. I think it is so cute. Now, I did do a few things different. I told you all that I was going to. I've been working on this for a while, so I finally got it done. Now, I did use a 3mm hook. I'm pretty sure that those are 10mm eyes that I used. This color right here is called, it's Hobby Lobby's Baby Bee Sweet Delight, and the color Bear Blue Marled. So it is a yarn that has like a blue tint to it, a very, very light blue. And then I paired it with this color right here for the wings and the horns, and this little tail spike here. I used this yarn right here, which is not the one that I used, but it is Baby Bee Sweet Delight, and it is called Pomp, and it's called Blue Boy. So it looks like this. As you can see, I did get this yarn on clearance, so I'm not sure if it is available anymore or not, but this is a DK weight yarn. So like I said, I did use a 3mm hook. I think it did pretty good with a 3mm hook. I do like how that yarn has like a white thread through it, so it kind of makes it look a little sparkly. I did think that it was sparkled sparkle yarn because of the way that thread, it's like a silverish white color that runs through that, so it's very pretty. And I think that it suited this really, really well. So now this right here, this fur, is actually a Hobby Lobby yarn that is discontinued. I didn't bring it in here, so I'm not really sure what it is. I completely forgot to bring it in here. But like I said, I know that it's not available anymore, but you could use any kind of fur yarn to do that. But like I said, she did have spikes going down the back of this. It probably would have been a lot easier to crochet those spikes than to do this fur. Not that it was hard, because it wasn't. It's just whenever I was sewing it at the back, I went kind of sideways with it, so I had to do 3 strips of the fur just to hide that, but I think that it turned out pretty good. So all I did for that fur there is I just made a chain, and I kept chaining the length of the body, and I used the piece of yarn that I from the body, the same color as the body, and I just sewed it down as I chained. And then when I got down to the bottom, I just went back up, sewed it down as I went, and then I also ended up going back down because, like I said, I got a little off center, so I had to put a little bit more than what I intended to put on there. But I think that it looks really good. I think that it turned out awesome. It does have the little feet. This is what the bottom of it looks like. I probably could have went down a little bit on my hook size, especially right here in the face area. She did want you to put nostrils on this, but I tried to do that and I didn't like the way that it looked. I also messed up on how you sew the ears and stuff. A lot of times when I'm making something, I will just get going on it and I will just sew it how I want to sew it instead of referring to the picture. So mine doesn't look exactly like hers because I think her ears were sewn at a different angle. I think they were sewn a little bit farther back. Mine has more of like a puppy dog dragon look to it. But like I said, I do really like it. It was very easy to make. It was time consuming because there are a lot of pieces, and there's a lot of sewing, because you have to sew these and sew the ears and the wings and the feet, and then this is separate. but from the nose to the tail is all one piece, so that was nice. I liked using this fur because, like I said, I do have like some gaps right here in the front, and I also had some on the back of the neck, but that fur, it hides it. And he does stand really well, so I'm very, very happy with him. And for a free pattern, this pattern is awesome for a free pattern for sure. I think that I would like, because I have done a dragon in the past if you've been with me for a while, and I think that I would like to mix this pattern with that pattern one day, because there are aspects of this pattern that I really, really liked, but then there's a lot of things about the other dragon that is similar to this one that I really like too. But this one is actually, it's a smaller project than what the other one that I have done in the past was. But like I said, I really do like how it turned out, and I hope you like it too. I know some of you all were anxious to see how that it was going to turn out because you were thinking about making it, so maybe you will make one of your own now. But there is my fantasy dragon amigurumi by Stringy Ding Ding. Another thing that I didn't do really well was indenting the eyes. I meant to say that earlier. I tried to do that, and I didn't like the way that it looked, so I did not indent that. I did indent them, but not as much as what she did. So, but there's my little dragon. I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm glad that it's done. I really enjoyed making it. Now, the next thing that I finished is called Emma Bunny, and this is from this book, Edward's Menagerie by Carrie Lord. I've showed this book so many times on my channel. I have made things from this book so many times. I absolutely love it. But I made Emma Bunny, and I have made her before on my channel, but I did find out that someone I know is having a baby, and I had made a baby blanket out of this yarn, and so I wanted to make an amigurumi to go with the baby blanket out of the rest of the yarn that I had. And this is the yarn that I used right here, and it is We Crochet or Crochet.com. It is their Brava Worsted Speckle yarn, and this color is called Plummy Speckle. And so I just used that for the whole entire bunny. And I used a 3.75 millimeter hook on this. The only thing that I did different from the book is I actually changed the way that you position the head. The way that she positions the head is different. I think that hers looks better than what mine did, but I wanted to make sewing that head on easier, and I wasn't really thinking whenever I was making it, so it does look like it's got a really long neck, and that's not really how it's supposed to look, because like I said, this is what hers looks like, and this is what mine looks like. So I did do the head the same, but I just positioned it different than what it was supposed to be in the book. But I think I did okay on it. It's not one of my best projects. I'm not as happy with this as I am some other projects that I've done, you know. But I do think that it turned out cute. I think I did okay on the face. I wasn't really happy with the face. But it's growing on me, and I think that it will go well with the blanket that I made. I just didn't want to use safety eyes because this was going to a baby, so I just whip stitched it some little eyes, which all of her patterns in this book do have like embroidered eyes and stuff. She doesn't use safety eyes, and it does have its little bunny tail there, and it sits pretty well. And I do love the way that her bodies are made. They always have this tummy. So there is my little Emma Bunny. I think it's cute though. It is cute. It's just not my favorite. Not my favorite that I've made. Now this next project that I made it turned out so adorable. I really, really love it so much. I got this book. I showed it in a yarn haul video that I did last week, and this is called Designer Amigurumi, and I made that little elephant right there, which is called Lily the Elephant. So this is what I made right here, and here she is, and I think she turned out so cute. Oh my goodness. Now I love how that they use the blue tulle for her tutu, but I didn't have that, and I didn't want to go to the store. This is what I had in my stash, and in this packaging it looks like it's this really bright pink, but whenever you take it apart, it's very pale. It's very pale. The more you add, the more that pink shows through, but it's not, obviously not the same color as what it looks like on the packaging. I wish that I had had a more contrasting color, but I am happy with how it turned out. I'd never done tulle on an amigurumi, so I was very anxious to start this little pattern here. When I first started making her, I put that trunk on, and it just looked so funny. Like it looked crazy looking, because this looks like an arm to me, like a stuffed arm. So, but once it comes all together, it does look really, really cute. So, the things that I used is I used a new yarn, new to me, that I just got, in that I did a yarn haul on this as well, and it is the new Premier Minikins yarn. I wanted to give this yarn a go and see how I felt about it, and try out an amigurumi with it, because it is marketed toward making amigurumis with. So the color of her skin there, I had bought to use as a skin tone for a doll, but as you can tell, I think that it's coming across on the camera. This color is called taupe, but it has like a gray undertone. So it really does work well for an elephant, but I don't think that it would work well for a skin tone. But this is how much that I had left out of that after doing her whole entire body. Well, most of it, because this part is obviously a different color. But there's 158 yards, so I mean, I had enough to do this whole entire amigurumi out of this, even without adding this pink. Now the pink is called Petal, and I didn't use very much of it at all. And then the color for the inside of her ears there is called Shell. So that is the color for her ears. And then I'm thinking that I used like 12mm safety eyes. This color in the middle of the flower, I did mess up on the flower just a little bit. It's really blowing out. But I did mess up on the flower a little bit on one of the petals. But the inside of that flower is just a scrap that I had of a different 2-weight yarn. I can't remember what I used, but I just didn't have that color because I only got a few colors of this yarn. But I wanted to make something out of the whole, you know, using all the yarn, the same yarn this time. Now I did use a 2.75mm hook on this. I think my stitches look okay. I probably need to go down a hook size, but I don't think I can. So I'm just going to be content with how my stitches look. This yarn is very soft. I will give a little bit of review on this yarn because I did have some people ask me to let them know what I thought about it. I have to admit, when I first started working with this yarn, I hated it. I really did. I hated it for amigurumi. Whenever I first took it out of the ball, I don't know if I can find a good example or not. No. I was trying to find an end here. Well, it's not a good example, but whenever I first started using it, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's like when it first came out of the ball, it was not plied at all. Like it wasn't, not plied, but spun. It wasn't spun at all. And I was like, there's no way that I can use this. It's going to split so bad, because it was like essentially using, you know, just strands together. They weren't spun. But the more that I got into the ball, the better spun that it was. Like this part is spun better. But like I said, when I first started working with it, it wasn't spun for a good ways. And I don't know if that was just the ones that I got or if they're all like that. But like I said, the farther I got into the ball of this, the better spun it was. Like I said, it's so soft. Like I could totally see making baby wearables out of this, because I mean, it's so soft. And this would be excellent for a child, for a baby. I don't think, like an adult wearable, it would take a lot of these, because they're, you know, they're small. It's a 2-weight yarn, and it's only got 158 yards. Perfect for amigurumi, you know, small color work. But I'm not sure. I still have mixed feelings. I know this is not a very good review, because in one way I really loved it. I really loved how soft it was, and it does turn out really well, but it did split quite a bit on me. And whenever I use like a smaller yarn for amigurumis, it's more stiff. Like it's not this soft. Like this stuff is soft, and it's when it has a little bit of, it feels more sturdy when you're working with it. It makes it easier to work with. And I had a little bit of trouble getting started. It took me a long time to get used to working with this soft of yarn for an amigurumi. I do have a couple places on her head. I don't have my glasses on, but there are a couple places on her head where that, like, I missed, like I split the yarn a little bit and I didn't realize it, because whenever I would do that, I would have to rip out a stitch, and then like redo that stitch, you know, to where that it wouldn't split. I did use my clover hook on this. I didn't try a different hook to see if there was a difference in like hook versus yarn. You know, sometimes certain hooks do better with certain yarns. I don't know. It's like I really liked it, but then at the same time I didn't really like it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not sure if I would buy it again. I was so excited to have a thinner cotton yarn, even though this is a 50-50. I was very excited to have one that was in the US, because a lot of times when I order a thin weight yarn, it's only available in other countries. Or that like Love Crafts will have has some on their website. They're based in the US, but their colors are so limited. You can't get the amount, you know, the certain colors that you might want. They're always out of stock. So usually when I order, well, I have ordered from Wool Warehouse a lot, and from Hobie. I've ordered from them too. And I really like that yarn better than I do this for amigurumi. So I'm not really sure. I might order more, because like I said, I did like it. The more that I worked with it, the more I got used to it. It's just different from what I'm used to working. I think this is more suited for garments than it is for amigurumi. But, you know, it works out great. It does work up pretty. I'm just used to a sturdier feeling yarn when I'm using it, instead of something so soft. But the results are great. So like I said, I have mixed feelings. I'm not saying don't go try it if you want to try it. I would just get like a couple colors like I did, try it and see how you feel about it. It's not a lot of money, really. It's $2.99, which is comparable to other yarns that I've used. But if I had to choose between using this and using some of the other yarns that I have, I would choose the other yarns. So that's my review, a little review on the Minikins. Like I said, I really do like it, but at the same time, it's just a yarn that you have to get used to using because it's not like any other cotton yarn that I use for amigurumis. So that's probably not a really good review, but there you go. But I do really love how this Lily the elephant turned out. I think she turned out absolutely adorable. I did just, what you do is you cut strips off of the tulle, and I didn't cut them exact. I mean, I tried to get them kind of exact, but I mean, I was just kind of cutting it, you know. I wasn't like measuring each little strip. So some of them are different lengths and stuff, but you can't tell. You can't really tell. And if I had one that was like super longer and you could tell, I just trimmed it a little bit. But all you do is you just stick your hook in there, grab it from, like you fold your strip in half, grab the middle of it, pull it through and tie a knot. And it does work out really cute. Like I want to make more amigurumis that incorporate this tulle. I think that it turns out so adorable. I really do like it. I really do like having that extra detail on this. And you can do that with any amigurumi, with any doll. Make it look like it has a skirt with tulle. It doesn't have to be part of the pattern. Now, there is one thing that I did do different. I followed the pattern exactly like it was, except for this body part. They wanted me to stop right here with the pink and fasten back onto this skin color. So her whole bottom, like bum area, you know, bottom of her body there would have been the skin color, and it would have looked funny. So I did continue on with the pink all the way down the body, because I thought that looked better. I thought it looked more like maybe a leotard or something, you know, or whatever them things are called that ballet dancers wear. But I think it turned out super cute. I didn't stuff her arms, so her arms do kind of look a little flat unless you mess with them. I didn't want them like sticking straight out. I should have put just a little bit of stuffing in them, but I didn't. I really liked how the ears were made too. I think that's a really cute way to make elephant ears. So I hope you like my Lily the elephant. I think she's absolutely adorable, and I really did enjoy the pattern. It was very well written. This book is by all different designers, so their styles may be a little bit different, but I mean, it was a really great pattern to follow, and I just love how she turned out. And that's all my finished objects. Now, as you all know, I have been working on my bear in pajamas for weeks now. Weeks, and I'm still not got him done. I still haven't got him done, but you know what? That's okay. You know, we have to go at our own pace, and obviously I made other things, even though I shouldn't have, but I made other things in between. So, this is who I'm talking about. It is called Benji Bear in the book here, Cute Crocheted Woodland Creatures by Emma Varnum. Love this pattern. It is so awesome. I'm almost done with him. Like, he will be done next week. He's not quite done though. So here is my bear. So last time I showed you, I had his head, his ears on, I had both of his arms done, his legs, and he was halfway up his body. You do crochet the legs in to the body as you go. She tells you exactly where to place your legs, when to crochet them in, how many stitches apart. I mean, great detail on those legs. You work all the way up the body, and then she tells you what row to crochet the arms in. The only thing about that part was on the legs. Like I said, she tells you exactly where to place these legs, exactly to a T. But the arms, she does not. She does not tell you. She just says crochet until you reach the arm placement, crochet the arm. I mean, it's pretty much very vague on how to crochet the arm in. That was the only thing I was a little disappointed in. So what I did is I took the total number of stitches. I subtracted the amount of stitches that I needed for the arms, and then I divided it by 2, and that gave me the amount of stitches that I needed in the front and the back, and that's what I did. And I just kind of placed them where I thought that they needed to go. So like I started with this arm, I did however many stitches it was to place the arm, and then that number that I got in my math, my little bit of math I did, I went across and then started with the other arm and then went across, and it worked out fine. So his head is separate, and it is a different shape. It's not rounded, it's more, I don't know, oval shaped or something. But it wasn't difficult to sew on at all. I thought that it was going to be, but it wasn't. I did end up doing one extra decrease than what she says on the neck area of the head, just to make it a little bit easier for me. I still haven't embroidered his nose yet. And you know what? Honestly, I'm a little scared to embroider his nose. He's so cute that I'm afraid I'm going to mess him up, because that's what happened to my bunny. So I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. I will do that next week. Now, as you can see from the picture, he does have pajamas. I have almost got the pajamas done. But first, let me tell you what I'm using. I'm using a 3mm hook, which on all of these projects, well, on the dragon and this bear, I have been using my dots hook 3mm. So when I have said that I'm using a 3mm hook, it has been my dots hook, and I just want to say that I love these hooks. They do not replace my clovers. I do love my clovers. They're not as slick as a clover, but I'm really enjoying this 3mm. It does a great job. I haven't had any issues with it. It's just not as slick as a clover, but it's so close. Like, it's so close. But I really like the handle on it, and I'm really happy with these hooks. Very happy with that purchase. But I am using that 3mm hook, and I'm using Brava Sport Weight yarn from Crochet.com, and this color is called Almond, and this color is called Sienna. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm right. I haven't took enough notes. Yeah, Sienna. And then I was planning on using the same yarn that I used for the dragon's wings that I showed you earlier, but I changed my mind for the pajamas because I was afraid that they wouldn't fit, because they wanted you to use, in her pattern it calls for a DK weight yarn, so her bear actually is a little bit bigger than mine. But since I'm using a sport weight and the pajamas were made in the same weight of yarn as the bear was made in, I wanted to keep it the same. That way my clothes didn't come out too big. So I am using this color. So this is the Brava Sport Weight. This is what I'm using for the pajamas. And this color is called Denim. And I just thought it was really pretty. I thought it looked similar to the color that they used in the picture. And I will use the white to make it look like the bear. Hold on, I dropped something. So let me just show you really quickly. So this is what it looks like with the pajamas on. I don't know if I'll do that little bunny or not, just to be honest. And this is what the bear looks like. So as you can tell, it doesn't look like she stuffed hers a lot. I don't know if you can tell that in that picture or not. But like, if you'll notice, like right in here, it doesn't really look like she stuffed very firmly on her bear. And I stuffed my bear firm. So he's more firm. He's a little squishy. I always leave mine just a little squishy, but he is pretty firm. So his pants, I do have ends, so I'm going to try to get his clothes on real quick, so just bear with me. So here are his pants. That's what his pants are looking like. Like I said, I haven't sewed in any ends yet. I have done a lot of doll dresses, but I've only done one, and that was my Santa doll outfit that I did. That was pants, and it was not made this way. So, like, I'm not a clothes person. Like, I haven't made a ton of clothes. I've not made any kind of clothes for myself. So this was definitely an experience for me on how to do this part right here on the bum area, because you start making the legs and then you connect them, but where the legs are made sewed into the front and his butt sticks out, you have to gather up stitches, extra stitches here to bring it out. And she says what that's called, but I don't remember. Short row shaping is what she calls it in the book. I don't have a lot of experience, but some of you all probably do and know what that means. So she explained it pretty well. It took me a minute to wrap my head around what she was saying, but once I figured out, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, then it flew by. I just had to get it to click in my head. But they do fit him pretty well. They do fit him pretty well, even though I did kind of stuff him a little bit more than I think that she did. His pants fit very well. Now this is his jacket. I struggled with this a little bit too, just because I'm not familiar with making clothes, but once it clicked, then it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, once I figured out, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and it really wasn't the instructions, it was just me. But it wasn't hard. I just had to wrap my head around how to make clothes, you know? Because I'd never made a jacket like this before, but as you can see, he is chunky. He's a little chunky. So I can get his shirt to stretch to fit around his body, but I don't really want to do that. So I think that I'm going to add, because you do put a little bit of a border right here that I didn't do exactly the way that I was supposed to, but I think I'm going to go back and add a little bit extra width there so that it's not so, because I mean, this is made in acrylic, so it is stretching to fit, and I know my tails kind of make it hard to see, but I just want it to be a little bit easier, maybe. I'm not really sure. But I might go back and add maybe one extra row on at least one side, just to get it to fit a little bit better, because whenever I add the buttons, you know, I don't want it to look too stretched. But this is the texture. I really like the texture on his pajama top. I kind of wish that texture had been incorporated in the pants, but I understand why that it couldn't be, because of the way that you had to make them. Now, she did want you to make a chain and create the collar separately, but I didn't want to do that. So I did, if you can tell there, these are my back loops. So I did it those are the front loops. So I did it in the back loops so that it would kind of lay down. So I did pretty much the same as she said to do, except I just, instead of making a chain, I just worked it directly onto the collar of the jacket here, the pajama top. I do have to go back and do some surface crochet around the arms and the legs, and then I think there's surface crochet that goes up the front here with the white, and then he also has that tie on his pants that I have to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that tile because you're not going to be able to see it when his shirt is closed. So I'm not really sure if I'll do that or not. But I am loving how it's turning out. I think it's going to be so cute. I think it's going to be so cute when it's done. He just needs his nose. And I have a few more details in all of these ends to weave in. But I think his clothes fit pretty good. Like I said, I do think that I stuffed my bear more than what hers is stuffed. So I think that's why his pajamas aren't like fitting exactly like the picture, because that does make a difference because it makes it a little bit bigger. But once I get the buttons on there, I'm not sure what buttons I'm going to use. I do have some little clear, like whitish clear buttons that I might use on the front. We'll see what I do for the buttons. It depends on the sizing that I have. But that is my little bear. Benji Bear from the cute Crocheted Woodland Creatures. And I'm really enjoying working on it. This jacket was a little tedious to make because it's the same stitch you're trying to build up, and then like I got to watching TV and I put way too many rows, so I kept rip it out. But the pattern is very well written. She did an excellent job on this. There were a few things that I wish had been a little bit worded a little bit better, but she did an excellent job, and I would definitely recommend that book if you know UK terms, because it is in UK terms. And that's all my works in progress to show you. I haven't really worked on anything else. I still need to add my border to my squares and get them attached to my blanket for Litz's cowl over at Coco's Crochet. I'm hoping to do that tonight and get that finished up so that I'm ready for the next colors that come out. I don't have any acquisitions, but I did get a little bit of Happy Mail that just melted my heart. So sweet. And I got some Happy Mail from Caroline over at For the Love of Crochet. I had no idea that she was sending me this, but it just melted my heart, made me so happy, and I just want to share it with you all. So when I've already opened it, obviously, but whenever I opened this, the first thing I seen was crochet, and I was like, oh my gosh, she sent me something that she made, and she sent this dog that she made, and oh my gosh, I just love him so much. And I was watching her video today because she released a video today talking about receiving or buying crochet from other people, and I've never really received a lot of crochet from people, so this was definitely, I don't think I've ever got an amigurumi from anybody, for sure. Maybe when I was younger, but now that I'm a crocheter, you just appreciate it. You really do, because I can just imagine the time that it took her to make this, the love that went into the stitches, and just, you know, trying to imagine her picking out, like I would, the colors that she used and placing the eyes, and it's just such a sweet gift that just touched my heart so much, and I just love it, and I will treasure this forever and ever and ever. And I love those felt eyes. Like this is my first time seeing like the Cricut eyes or the felt eyes in person. I've seen her show these a million times on her channel and other people as well, but I've never actually seen them in person. I just love them. So I will definitely have to order me some of these felt eyes, because look at his face. So adorable. Caroline, oh my gosh, your video did not do this little dog justice. Look at its little tail. I love it so much with the scarf. It's just so special. So thank you so much. Now, she did send some other things besides that dog, and the dog just took the cake. She did put this little bunny bag that's absolutely adorable with the little bunny face, and whenever I took it out, took out what was inside. It's one of her scrubbies that she's shown a million times too on her channel. I know she really enjoys making these. I've never seen one of these in real life that's been made. It's so cool. I told her it's so pretty. I don't want to use it. I just want to hang it on my wall. Like, it's so pretty. I don't want to mess it up by using it. But she said I had to use it, so I will. I will use it. Put it to good use. But it's just so pretty. You did such a good job. And I've never used this kind of scrubby yarn. I like the way that it feels. It's not like that Red Heart scrubby yarn that just kills your fingers. This is different. So I really like this a lot. Ain't that pretty? And you know, you're supposed to wash your dishes with this, but ain't it just too pretty to wash your dishes with? That's what I think. But I will use it for my dishes. So thank you for that. And then she did send me a beautiful card here, which I should have started with, and that is the Easter is Here card. And it's got all these cute little woodland creatures on it. It's absolutely adorable. And then she wrote me a very sweet note inside. And then the last two things that are in this package is some yarn that I'm very excited about. She sent, I think she got this in some Happy Mail, and then she wanted to let me try some of it. And this is Millefilm. I'm not sure. I've never heard of this. It's in a different language as well, but it's sock yarn is what it is, and I really like it a lot. And those colors are so pretty. So I am very looking forward to working this up into something. I really like the way that this feels. I don't know if there's any information. I don't think there's anything that I can read on this. It does say made in Turkey. I can read that. But this is the way that it works up. I don't know if it's going to focus, but that's how it works up. So it's going to work up very pretty. So I got to figure out something to use this for. I'm not sure how much is in this, but usually sock yarn goes pretty far. So I think that I could make something with this for sure. And then the last one that she sent me, I am familiar with this one, and it is the Yarn Bee Cozy Toes. And I do not have this colorway. I love this bright pink. I was going to try to get it fixed a little bit better there, but I love that bright pink with that. This is how it's supposed to work up. So it's got some long stripes of the pink, and then there's obviously, as you can see here, there is some blue and green in there, and there is some yellow hiding in there, and then there is some, you know, lighter pink there. So this is going to be really fun to work up something with. And I have a feeling that I'm going to make a tutor fence with this one because I know that this is enough yarn to make a tutor fence, and he is my favorite Amigurumi to make. So I do think that this will be a tutor fence in my future just to remind me of Caroline sending me this beautiful yarn. So thank you so much for everything. But man, this puppy dog, he takes the cake. Look at that face. Oh, I just love him so much. So thank you so much, Caroline. And thank all of you. I thank all of you for watching and hanging out with me for another long video. Because, you know, it's not a podcast without it being long on my channel. So I hope you all enjoyed hanging out with me, seeing my projects, and hearing me talk about yarn and hooks and Happy Mail and just everything. It really is so nice to get on here and just talk to you all, and I just appreciate you all so very much for watching, for subscribing, for coming back time and time again, and your comments, they always mean a lot to me. I enjoy your comments so very much, so thank you so much for that. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, and until next time, I will see you in another video. Bye.